Marvel versus DC, apples and oranges, according to Sean Gunn.
But Brother James brings more similarities.
All right.
So this is from the Wrap.
Well, go to the headline.
Yes, that is the headline. It's sort of been a new process for them. The actor tells the Wrap. There's Sean Gunn right there. Sean Gunn is part of a fairly small club of actors who have starred in both Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC Universe on screen. But according to the Guardians of the Galaxy Star, it is a bit hard to compare the two superhero franchises. We all know where Gunn came from. I'm going to skip that. And though both DC and Marvel own the superhero movie landscape, Gunn told The Wrap at a Fan Expo Chicago that coming into the franchise at different times in their histories made a difference for him. I came into the whole process working at Marvel once the machine was kind of already running smoothly and doing well. DC, I've done Suicide Squad, but now they're kind of overhauling it. And it's new ever since my brother took over as head of the studio, he explained. It's sort of been a new process for them. So it would be, it's really kind of true, like trying to compare apples and oranges. You can edit these things, people. James Gunn. Okay, we know about James Gunn and Peter Safran are co-CEOs of DC Studios. I'm going to skip that part. They're making Superman. Sean Gunn noted that there is one overarching similarity between Marvel and DC for him that made working both much easier and more familiar. God, this guy can't write.
Okay, wait. Let me pause you for a second. You don't have to say out loud your internal monologue. You can say, like, you can just read the relevant part without saying, I'm not going to read that. You could just not read that.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm saying I'm giving color commentary over.
Yeah,
I want to make people know that I'm not skipping over something. Just read the relevant parts. Skip what you don't need to read. I get these. By the way, these articles are always bloated. They are. I'm on your side, Alan. These articles are bloated. They include info as if you don't know the context, which I get. Some people don't, which is fine. Skip to the relevant. The point is, by the time you get to what's relevant in this article, it's generally a tweet or two sentences an actor said. So get to the relevant part, and then we can comment. Okay, here we go. Here's the relevant part. Underneath it all, working with my brother is more similar than it is different to other things, he said. So the fact that I was working with James in Marvel and James in DC makes it there's a lot more similarities in the process. Sean Gunn is set to appear in both Creature Commandos and Superman. He tells The Wrap. Let's see, Maxwell Lord. He'll take on Maxwell Lord in Superman. Won't be based on any live action portrayals fans have seen before. It's all from written material with things that we figure we're looking at. Dear God.
So first of all, I think this is stating the obvious, right? I think there's definitely in the comic books a different tone to Marvel comics as opposed to DC comics. Having been a reader since I was a kid, literally 5 years old, reading comics. And then, all through high school and college. So, and then my eras of comic knowledge lapses because there was a period my kids were young. I didn't really read a lot of comics then. So there are a lot of lapses actually, but there are parts I know very well and I don't. So, but in general, I liked Marvel comics for the fact that the superheroes seemed very human. They had human problems like Peter Parker, and then the DC heroes more like gods. But I like them both for different reasons. I like different eras. I love, the 80s Dark Knight and Watchmen by Alan Moore. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting because this is Sean Gunn who's working for his brother. Honestly, it seems like his only experience with the two big studios is with his brother. And it's interesting to see that, I appreciate James Gunn. This is going to be the controversial statement for me from today, but at least he knows comic books. At least he understands comic books, and at least he's bringing that sensibility to these movies. You can argue whether he's doing a good job at it or not, but again, when you talk about, I remember when they hired him as the co-CEO, and then when he said that he was going to do Superman, everyone was like, "Oh, but he doesn't understand the tone. He's going to just bring comedy to it." At the same time, though, who else could do this other than James Gunn? Right. Who else in Marvel and in DC has the depth of knowledge of comic books that James Gunn has? Sure, I think his lifelong love of comic books certainly has molded his style of filmmaking. But who else? Who else would you put on that list with him? And I, saying that, I did look. Arguably, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is probably the most consistent franchise in the MCU.
Yeah,
and I think, I'm very interested to see what he does with DC. And unlike Kathleen Kennedy, can he lead a movie studio?
I'll put my money on Gunn over Kennedy any day.
Absolutely.